Welcome back to the Create Smarter podcast. This is your host, Brooklyn Murdoch. I am joined by these lovely two people today. Would you guys please introduce yourselves?
Yes, my name is Marisa Uleski.
And Kyle McNaught.
In this episode of Create Smarter, we do have a special Halloween theme today for the month of October in spooky season. Last time we did touch on a few horror films, which I know Marisa was a huge fan of, and it was awesome.
Yes.
But we're going to take it up a notch today. We're going to, come at you guys with another episode that we like to call Bop or Flop.
Is it blue? Oh, Bop or Flop time.
That was good. That was really good. So, as Kyle is our other kind of spooky season fanatic and the one who's not so much.
I'm just here for the fall. I'm
The
just here for the
absolute last spooky season fanatic.
Yes, exactly. So we're going to do a series of marketing techniques today used recently that kind of fall under our theme that we have going today. So my guests here are going to be trying to decide whether these techniques are bops or flops, meaning bops, a success, flops, not so much. So we are going to start off with one of the most recent things that I have personally seen. And this is going to be a little hands-on game for us today.
God,
Marisa is going to be our test subject.
Oh, boy.
So,
what have I signed up for?
I don't know.
nothing great, I'll tell you that.
Why do you keep signing up for this?
Because it's spooky season and
It is spooky
marketing, but also I just,
Marketing is spooky.
You like to
marketing is
torture.
really scary. Marketing takes guts.
Do you have it?
Perfect. Anyways, so we have the new Saw film coming out this fall. I think it actually already has come out.
It did, yes.
But they are doing something a little different from what I have seen in horror films recently. So we're going to do a little hands-on exercise. Marisa, do you have your phone with you?
I do happen to have
I'm going to
my
have you
phone
pull
with
out
me.
your phone for me really quick.
Okay.
All right. So, Marisa, I'm going to have you call this number.
Okay.
310.
Yep.
564 8144.
All right. Do I dial it now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hello there. Thank you for reaching out. A very brave thing to do. I hear that they were looking for a restart, a cleanse. But I must ask, are you sure this is the right path for you? What you are about to experience will truly put you to the test. A test unlike any other that you faced before. If you'd still like to proceed, simply text, "I want to play a game."
Ooh.
Oh, my God.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, he ended the call. Oh, my God.
So, I actually ended up doing this because you know me. Why wouldn't I? So after you text the number and you text "I want to play a game," you go through basically like a series of different things to get to the actual game. First, you have to add Lionsgate to your contact, whatever. You have to put in your email though. This is where they kind of make you kind of subscribe in a way. You have to add your email, your name and whatnot to be part of like the Lionsgate community. So you'll like receive like more like promotions and like their like newsletters and stuff like that, which is an interesting way. But then is when you can start playing the game, and he'll just ask you like a series of riddles basically. But it's very ominous the way he texts. It's like after you call and you send that text, he's like, very well done, like Billy's pleased with you or something like that. And it's a little weird, but so knowing this, doing that little interactive thing, what do you guys think about that? Do you think it was a bop or a flop?
Can I ask a question first?
Absolutely.
How'd you get the phone number?
That's a good question.
So at the end of every trailer that goes out, basically, they'll do a pop-up where it says text "I want to play a game" to 310 blah 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 blah. So that's where they show you at the end of the trailer if like you pay attention enough. That's
like
where
in this specific Saw trailer.
for this for the new one that I believe is out. So.
It is out. Yes.
Yep.
So it's for Lionsgate information, like that.
It's basically like for Lionsgate information and learning more about the film, basically. But this was meant to be done kind of like before it actually came out.
Right.
Interesting.
So we're a little late to it. But with that being said, how do you guys think this was received?
Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I mean, I can. I kind of think it's a flop. Like, you're asking for information too fast. You haven't provided value. And again, I'm probably too ADHD to pay attention at the end of a trailer. I'm just like, on to the next thing. But I don't like that you had to do a bunch of things before you got a text message. I think that you should have been able to play the game, and then you're kind of sticking through it. I get why they're asking for all that information. I'm sure there's a double opt-in for all that stuff. But at the same point, I mean, you're getting a phone number that's like texting you. You're starting to get some information. Like, do you really need to immediately say, hey, sign up for my newsletter? You're like, no, I want to play a game. I want to go on this experience. I want to be engaged. I think they flopped when they immediately, and there might be some legal reason that they have to do it, but I don't like the fact that they immediately ask you for all that info.
I see what you're saying. Like, it's almost like you have to go through the game, then it's like, all right, if you enjoyed that kind of thing. But I think, maybe I won't go as far as to call it a bot, but I will say I think it's a very interesting thing that they're shocker, I've never seen Saw, but I understand the premise of the movie because my dad really likes the movies. But it is really cool that they made it interactive and they found a way to get their audience involved. And I think if you're really a fan, you will kind of give your information without, thinking of...
I did, granted.
It's true. You're not like, oh, let me think really long and hard about what I'm signing up for. I think if you're a fan and you're into it, you're like, yeah, I want to play a game. I want to see what's going to happen. So I do see what you're saying from like a marketer's brain, but like from a fan's brain, I think it might be kind of a bop.
I agree.
I think we should call it a blop. Honestly,
a blop is a good idea.
I mean, that's why I asked, like, what did you get with the newsletter? Because if it's Lionsgate stuff, I'm like, what? I don't think that's you just.
I didn't get anything. As of right now, I literally did this morning.
You're gonna
maybe they make you wait a little bit.
So I don't know if you have to wait a little bit or what, but like I personally haven't gotten anything. I haven't checked like my promotions or my my social folders in my email yet. But yeah, it's just like the second you do it, it's like, well, welcome to like the Lionsgate community, and there's a big picture of like the Saw poster, I guess. So.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe
odd,
I could see like A24 doing it and being like, oh yeah, this is dope. I want to see everything. This is a big heart. This is where we really get spooky for you. But I could see A24 putting out something like, cool, I added this. But like the Saw franchise, I would say like if it was more Saw focused and it wasn't Lionsgate, maybe that's what put me off. It's like, yo, Lionsgate, you ain't A24. Like you just don't do that. I think
what would have been cooler is if you didn't have to add Lionsgate to your contacts, and it was rather like make it the main, make it the main guy part of like
Billy,
make it Billy, like make it something like that. So like it made it less scary being like, all right, well now I got to go through Lionsgate to just solve the guy's riddles, like So I would consider it like you guys are saying.
Blop.
We've got a blop.
How long did you text Billy for?
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna text him and just like have a conversation with him and then get blocked probably. But that's my goal, is to get blocked by Lionsgate. So hope they're watching this. Anyways, it's technically speaking like it. I don't know if it fully like contributed. I was on like Reddit, and the amount of people who talked about how awesome it was to like do the riddles. Like there was more positive reception to it than there was negative. But then when you look at the film itself, like knowing it is just the Saw franchise and everybody just wants to go see the film, it was the biggest success out of the entire franchise for this film. It had an 83 on Rotten Tomatoes, which again could be better, but as of right now, and it just came out, it's made $31.2 million in the box office, which is a lot for just coming out. But that could just be a number of things, like just the fact that it's the franchise rather than this. But I thought it was an interesting way to market a film and doing something new when like you've had so many of the films already. I
mean, you're right too, in the sense that like this is a random thing that I just happened to be listening to a podcast about, but like the Saw franchise was going downhill. Even Spiral didn't really get that many viewers. So the fact that you're saying this is one of the best received ones in a long time, like I'm wrong. It sounds like it was a bop. It's working.
Yeah, don't listen to Kyle.
Yeah. Boo.
I just don't like you giving your information out. My bad.
I was with you on that. I was like, my initial response was like, really? Like,
yeah, I would have been.
It took a while too. I was like, God damn. Like,
But I feel like if you made people wait till they already got through the game, it's like, well, then why would I give them my information now? I already did it.
That's true.
If you're going to give it, I feel like it might have to be at the beginning. Yeah. Because if it's not, people might not actually do it. Like I think people will still do it if
I could see the both sides. I could see someone being like, oh, well, why do I give a crap? I'm deleting the game's over. Cool. Delete Lionsgate versus, hey, oh, you provided a cool experience. I'm not immediately going to remove you from like my contacts and stuff. But like, I could see like, oh, cool. I did the game. I don't need this anymore. Bye. Which some people just want the download. So that works.
I know, whatever works. It was just, something unique, but also at the same time, didn't know if it like fully landed. Moving on. So we're going to move on to just like advertising in general. And we're going to go off with fast food right now. I don't know if you guys heard it, but in Japan, they did a thing which reached the United States where they had the Halloween Whopper at Burger King.
Oh, yeah. The black one, right?
The black.
I have not heard of
black
this.
bun. And I'm going to put up a picture of it for those of you who don't know.
Insert picture here.
Awesome. Okay. So the bun's literally black, and basically it's just like it's a charcoal bun, I guess. But naturally people like were attracted to it because like it's something so like gross looking that you're like, well, I gotta try it. It's probably gonna taste the same. And people probably just wanted to see the hype and stuff. But it did. I'm curious to know first your opinions, whether it's a bop or flop, before I tell you the aftermath of what went through people's bodies.
The aftermath of the aftermath.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know that like I would have made the bun black. I don't know. Maybe the specifics of the idea are not so great. I will say I think it's interesting when companies do like limited time like holiday things. I'm thinking of even like Grimace's birthday when they did the Grimace shake. Like, everybody wanted to try it, and there was a whole social trend attached to it, and we can go down that whole road if we wanted to. But essentially, my point is that people, if there's a limited time item that, it's only during Halloween, it's only during spooky season, I can't get it anytime else, people are going to want to go try it, even though the bun's black, because they're like, I want to be in on it, I want to know what's happening. Yeah.
Yes, Shamrock Shakes.
Yeah,
it's a pop for sure. Like, listen, this one might not take off, but like, I love, like you're saying, anytime a restaurant, like those fast food, like go all in, like, hey, for this month only, we do this specific thing. I think that works. Like, eventually, like, it catches on. People want this. I mean, listen, I love the Happy Meal, like, Halloween box. I grew up with that. Always loved that thing. I know they brought that back for nostalgia's sake, and it was only like it was marketed towards older like people. It wasn't just for kids with that. So like I love when if a company goes all spooky and is down to do like black spooky bun, like I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you guys it was a massive flop.
Yeah.
Oh.
In the beginning stages I could see how like it drew like a lot of attraction, which it did. A lot of people like it worked in a way, but the aftermath was the reason for this flop, which it made people's green.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which
Shamrock Shakes. Shamrock Shakes.
Yeah, no, but it literally turned, stuff green. So the hashtag green poop trumped the actual like Halloween Whopper.
I mean, I guess all press is good press, right?
Yeah, but then
Whopper green poop.
like exactly.
Gotta boom flip it.
Yeah, right. But they ended up, I think, learning from their mistakes, and now we have just an orange bun.
I was gonna say, why didn't they just make it an orange bun instead of a black one?
There is one with black like sesame seeds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
That makes sense. Orange bun, black sesame seeds, and that's not that far off from the actual color of the bun.
Right.
That feels like the natural first choice that they should have gone to anyways.
You'd think, yeah. It's super odd, but in a way, it was a bop that led to a flop, I guess.
Yeah,
A flop that led to a bop.
A flop that led to a bop.
I don't know.
It was a bop to get people to see it. It was a flop in terms of
The actual execution. The
Flopped
idea.
into the toilet. Yeah.
The idea was good. The execution, not so much.
all right, so we're gonna move on to basically like shoes and brand designs that are like more specific to the holiday. So the one that I have seen recently is the Nike shoes that are the swoosh is orange, and then they've got the black like trim and outline, and then they're just white. So what do you guys think about like designing shoes, not as much clothes, because you see enough of those in Target and god awful.
Yeah,
god
that's
awful,
true.
some of them. What do you guys think about when it comes to like designing specific shoes when it comes to like holiday themes? Like, would you buy them possibly, or like how much attraction does that have to you?
Yeah, I think you know, you and I love shoes.
We do.
But I don't know
Absolutely.
that I would necessarily personally buy them. I will say I think something like shoes opposed to clothes is a good idea because people collect sneakers specifically, like all the limited time stuff, or like I'm thinking of like, you know, I know there was some basketball shoe that did like a SpongeBob theme and like that was cool and unique, and you know, it might not be a shoe you wear, but it's like a collector's item.
Right.
So I think it might be like if you're an everyday shoe wearer, no, but if you're a collector of sneakers, like it might be a good idea. It'd be like same kind of concept as McDonald's doing the limited time burgers or whatever. You only have this one time to buy this sneaker.
Right.
Get it now, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not a sneakerhead, so it's hard for me to sit there and say, like, I like it. Like, I walked into the outlets last weekend, and basically it was like, I'm here for your dad shoes at New Balance. And they're like, anything else? I'm like, nah, I just want to be comfy.
That's it.
I want the crispiest white you got. And walked out pleasantly surprised and happy. But yeah, I agree with the, like, buy into it. Like, so Natty Light, I'm not sure if I'm stealing anything that you're going to do. So Natty Light, love a Natty Light, love to chug a Natty Light. Went to Florida State, that's what we drink. And Halloween, they do Natty Fright, which they take their can and they put spooky ghost color, like font, and like it's black. It's got like pumpkins. It's got skeletons. I love it. I actively go to find the Natty Fright.
Oh my
'Cause
gosh,
I'm like,
that's so funny.
but like I think it's something with Halloween in general too. It's becoming bigger and bigger. It's becoming more of not just kids going out and trick or treating. So when companies do stuff like that, like I want to go buy a Natty Fright. I want to go like. Probably not going to eat the green poop burger, but like I do like when they buy into that stuff and they kind of twist their own kind of logo and have fun with it because it makes a lot of sense. A lot of people are buying into Halloween right now.
Yeah, I think it also is a different conversation entirely for things like food and like the Natty Fright and the McDonald's burger versus like shoes, because the spooky foods are something you eat, drink, and then it's gone.
It's consumable, yeah.
Right, it's consumable. A sneaker is something you buy and like you have it, and it's like, all right, are you gonna wear it? Can you just wear it for that limited season? Like, how much, I guess return on investment, I don't know, do you get for buying that one shoe, unless you're a sneakerhead that thinks I want to collect this limited time
if
thing.
you have spooky in your heart, spooky can be a year-long thing.
I feel like
I'll tell
I
you
know
that
you're
much it is.
Brooklyn and your daughter are like spooky year-round people, so I guess
she does love the
that's
spooks
true.
no matter what.
And I get her. Honestly. I really do. I resonate with that. So, anyways, we're gonna move on. Our last little thing we've got here is gonna go back to another film which we've kind of mentioned earlier, which you haven't seen it, Megan.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
Have you seen Megan?
I've watched a little bit. I know what you're gonna probably refer to. So yeah.
I hope. We'll see. It's about the robot girl who was designed by a woman to keep her niece company because she was lonely and had no friends.
Is it because her parents died and she couldn't she
her
had no
parents
idea?
also died.
Oh my
also,
gosh,
so I should
so
have
many
probably
things.
given context.
Spoiler
Her parents
alert.
died. She went to live with her aunt or something,
And her aunt had no idea how to handle trauma, so
Yeah.
she gave her this doll.
Oh
the
my
doll
gosh,
turned
that's
into
a
a
whole problem
killer.
within
It's
itself.
a little darker than I just made it seem. Anyways, so they
The nervous laugh.
yeah, right. So there was like women who would go out into like cities wearing the same dress, and there's a specific dance scene from Megan where she's just being creepy as ever. So they had them like, it's kind of like the Smile movie, like we talked about last time, where people would go like, even on Good Morning America, like they had the people from Smile like just stand there like behind the windows and stuff. So this is kind of like the same, where these girls would go out and just like dance and like kind of go at people and stuff like that, but it was pretty like interactive as well and engaging in a way, but also really freaking creepy if you see like a woman in a dress just like doing the creepiest dance,
Like
and
the
just
flailing her arms around.
yeah,
I know exactly what dance you're talking
about.
about.
It was on TikTok. Like,
Yeah.
people were doing the dance on TikTok,
Yeah.
which also kind of contributed in a way to like the marketing of that film. So I want to know what you guys think. Flop on that one.
I think it's a absolute bop. That fact, Marissa, who hates horror movies, knows it. I think you talk more.
Marissa's always the one to tell for these
This is because
things.
Brooklyn likes to torture Marissa.
I do
silently.
sometimes.
But like the fact, like, and I think you spoke to it, right? It is like TikTok it's a marketing tool if you use it correctly, and you using it correctly is creating viral moments, things that like people can replicate. The Wednesday from the Addams Family, that dance took off. That show became a banger. Wasn't a great show. It was basically a CW show on Netflix, like with spooky filter on it. But I mean that like using in tons of companies, tons of PR people are actively trying to not create the viral video in TikTok. They're trying to create the viral trend that everyone does that they can connect back to.
Again, like the Grimace Shake.
Yeah, the Grimace Shake. It reminds me of like when everybody was making those Barbie memes. I mean, we did it.
Yeah.
We did do the
this Ken
we
is.
fell
It's
for
the
that
same
scheme.
thing. It's like figuring out how to take your movie and put it into a trend. So it's not just like you're saying one thing that goes viral. It's something that everybody can learn that dance that Megan did, or everybody can put their face into the little,
And they're like,
shape
what's that
Barbie was
from?
in.
Oh, it's from the Megan
Right.
movie.
Yep.
I gotta see this. Like, what is this about? Like, why is like this dance is
Exactly.
Yeah.
creepy?
So I think maybe the TikTok dance trend part of this conversation was more of the bop. Maybe the people going out like into the world wearing those dresses, that seems a little bit like a flop for me, because I feel like, I don't know, I would walk the other way. I wouldn't be like, let me investigate this more, but that might just
I'd
be
say
me.
it'd also be a little tough to know what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, if you haven't seen anything for the film, like the trailers or anything, I'd also be like, what the,
Yeah, and it also
what?
depends on where you are. Like, I don't know,
Yeah,
maybe
that's
that's
true.
how somebody dresses every
Depends how
day, and
chronically
who am I to
online you are,
judge?
too,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But like, I mean, you can't see like you get used to like seeing the influencers in the wild, right? The people doing the dance trends around there. Like, I think it is kind of blending that kind of already sort of exists of like influencers will go out in the middle of places that they shouldn't be, and they'll sit there and dance and act like, oh, look at me, all these people aren't paying attention to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're kind of biting onto that sort of TikTok trend in a sense. But like, I see what you're also kind of rolling the dice on like, how much are you going to do this? Where are you going to do it? What's the reach? How do you even measure this type of stuff? Did it work?
Right. It also kind of reminds me of a less. Actually, I was gonna say less spooky example, but it's not really true. Have you seen the robots in the stadium for the Chargers game as of late? To promote the movie The Creator. It's about AI and robots taking over. So they had robot people sitting in the stadium for a Chargers game, and I think they just did it at a Chargers game. I can't remember, but it reminds me of the conversation we had last time about Smile and how they had people at
Everything's in a
baseball
stadium.
parks.
Like,
Yeah,
they're putting
exactly.
people everywhere.
So I feel like that's a little bit more bop-y than having somebody just kind of like in the city walking around in this costume, because it's like, it's going to get attention from, the cameras are going to cut to it and advertise about it, and people are going to see it and be like, whoa, what's that? So, I mean, it's a little spooky because it's like robot people that look super real, but it reminds me of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the film itself ended up being a bop. I've seen it. I forget, did you see it?
No, I didn't see it because I heard it was a flop, but
I thought it was a flop. But in general, it was a bop. Like, it was a 91% of Rotten Tomatoes. Again, $179.1 million at the box office.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Wow.
there's a Megan 2 coming out, right?
Is
yeah,
there?
they're already
Yeah.
making a second one, which
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't think should happen. Again.
You get a horror icon, you get to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
Right? Like, it's subjective to everybody, but like, I think from like the people I've asked, like a lot more people said they didn't like it than they did like it, despite like it was critically acclaimed in a way. Like,
We started talking about Saw 10. Like,
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
Yeah.
at
You
the end
got
of
a
the
point
day,
there.
doesn't take a lot of money for them to create certain horror movies. And like, hey, if I got a franchise that I know I can get this many people come into the theater for, that's great.
Yeah.
That was the same as like Talk to Me, like the
Oh, yeah?
film I was telling you about, how there's like a hand in it and you have to touch the hand whatever you talk to goes. So they made an actual hand to sell to people. So with that being said, like, by doing these things, how much is too much in your opinion when it comes to marketing? I know you guys know this best. Like, how can you up the techniques with marketing when it comes to like these holiday themes and like bring that spice without making it too over the top, like some of the things that we've talked about?
I mean, if your prospects or the people viewing or digesting the content don't understand or doesn't kind of align with your values and your goals and stuff, it's too much. Like, you don't need to go crazy with Halloween if like you don't really sell anything or there's no real reason to bring an audience there. Like Natty Light's fine, right? Natty Light's a beer, like, cool, we got a little specialty can, might drive a little bit more sales and stuff. But if I'm doing something like for Five Tool, like, we can have fun with it, but like if we just went like we only do spooky for this month, like, would it necessarily make sense when a prospect or someone who kind of comes to us in a B2B sense is watching our content be like, wait, what? Like, okay, cool, they have fun, but like, why the entire month are they only talk to us like Dracula, like blah blah blah. Like,
Can you imagine? You only have interactions with clients
welcome
like
to
Dracula.
our meeting, blah blah blah.
blah blah blah. I'm going to bite your neck.
Like, I just want to know if we could live stream this commencement speech.
No, that's so true. Marissa, do you have any thoughts
I think
to add on to that?
the only thing I can think of is like, it's almost better, and obviously you can't really control this, but it's almost better if your audience does the work for you. You can't hit your audience over the head too much with what you're trying to achieve. I'm going back to the Grimace Shake, obviously they have a limited time thing, and then there was a whole TikTok trend that they didn't even expect to happen, but then they like kind of leaned into it and they were okay with it, and that worked because just the audience took it and ran. So I think as long as you don't hit your audience over the head with it too much and kind of let them do the work, I think it can be effective, but sometimes you can't always control that.
Good points.
Yeah, just know your brand, know your values, know your mission, and know what you're trying to say out there. So don't let it get ahead of you, like especially if it turns into like, oh, we throw the Grimace Shakes at like we do with the dive bomb, or we do something like that. Like, no, that got away from your brand and stuff and what you're trying to do.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Another question: what do you guys personally like seeing, like from a content standpoint and like marketing? Like, what do you like to see when it comes to like holidays and I don't know, Halloween, just like this episode?
That might need a second to think about that one. You can go first.
I mean, like, I'll say I love when they buy in. I love like especially consumer products and stuff like that. Like they're again back to Natty Light, but they put out a T-shirt that was Natty Fright, and like I'm like I wanted that T-shirt so bad. I constantly looking at the website to do that stuff. I like when they put a fun spin on it. I like Halloween. I like the whole kind of vibe and all that stuff. So I like when they do that. But then holidays, yeah, like Christmas is going to be here before we know it. And then they go kind of all in. So I think it's fun times to kind of really enjoy that moment and kind of have that time that like things are happening. So yeah, I'm all for change up your logo, be a little spooky blood, if it makes sense. I don't need to like walk into like a TJ Maxx and they're going blah blah blah, but I want to walk into TJ Maxx and have their entire Halloween section and be like, look at that, I want that.
Yeah, and I think you guys are good examples specifically for Halloween, because holidays, everybody's different. You're gonna buy into a different holiday. Like everybody has their favorite holidays, ones that they go all out for. Like maybe you go all out for Halloween, you decorate, you know, all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's Christmas, then maybe that's your holiday. But I think that's a good way. Holidays are a pretty universal thing to speak to people about and like create products for, because everybody obviously knows about them. So everybody has their favorite, and that's a good way to kind of get people that way. And I had another point that I was going to make, and I don't remember what it was going to be.
No, but yeah, go to what holidays make sense for your brand and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like consumer products can make sense to kind of be okay with most holidays and stuff. But like you're saying, it's like if you're not a store that would really work with that type of holiday, don't go out of your way to like make sure you're talking about that.
Yeah.
So.
I'm thinking about, how pumpkin spice has blown up. Like fall is like all about pumpkin and pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody loves it. Like, not everybody, but like, a lot of people buy into it. And like, I go to Starbucks and for this month, I'm only going to buy pumpkin drinks.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I think it is smart to go all in on holidays because that's kind of what people are going to care about.
Yeah, and it makes them like look forward to it every single year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a tentpole event, right? They're paying attention. Oh, great, this is coming. I'm sure you're going to move more products. You're going to kind of have that type of conversation where it's, oh, cool.
And you're going to keep people guessing and be like, oh, what are they going to do next year?
Right,
like,
right.
what are they going to do
Yeah.
next Halloween? I think that's a good way to kind of keep people on the hook.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining this episode and Marissa being our test subject.
Always. I'm always here for it. Let's do more spooky bops or flops.
Well, for this spooky season, we conclude with Bop or Flop, and we will see you next time on the Create Smarter podcast.
We will suck your neck.
Blah, blah, blah.
Do 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 do.